Hey y'all, how you doing? We're waiting on some parts. We got some stuff today. Walboro carburetor rebuilds and some fuel filters and stuff. We're still waiting on the belt. We didn't order the belt till yesterday, so it may not be here until, might be here tomorrow because it's coming USPS. It might not be here till Monday or Tuesday. So we started working on this seat. Did you see I just got done heating it up with the map? They had told you, I mean, if you saw that in the other pictures, they had this thing bent to clear that third bearing mount. And it was, for me, very uncomfortable. It hurt my upper ribs. So now it's looking a lot. I mean, it's even got a little kick in it here, but we're not going to bother with that. This really needed to be repaired. So I tied a toe strap around there and heated it up and just kind of, torqued her back into shape. And that's a heck of a lot straighter. It's leaning out on the same angle now as this one here. Those were quite a bit more, these things here were quite a bit more straight up and down. When you bolt the tin in there, they were, this side was far more straight up and down. So that's gonna give me a little more room in the ribs. I'm a little bit bigger guy. So that ought to make it a little more comfortable. Was up in here last night and sitting in here adjusting the pedals and what have you. Let me get this bar put down. And we found the crack in the brake pedal. Let me get that off real quick and we'll show that to you. Lucky we decided not to run this thing at Pittsburgh to begin with, you know. Not really crazy about this design. We've had tubular pedals before, and the pivot on the bottom of the pedal was actually a piece of tube as well, and it pivoted on a rod or a bolt. This has a bolt welded to the bottom of the tubular pedal, which doesn't give you, it's just the head of the Allen bolt itself. So you're not a lot of contact. It looks like they TIG welded it. It's certainly not a MIG weld. You can see there's bushing here. This was actually from an Emic, the Emic over there, that we took this little bushing out of. I might need two hands, folks. Hang on a second. Let me sit you down right here to pull this off of here. But this is OEM, this pedal and the bolt. If you look on the inside here, right in there, that's cracked right apart. You can see it. It's broke. So it's still got weld out here and across here. It's just this back side, literally where the weld rubs up against this mount, you know. After years and years of rubbing, the bushings, like I said, this bushing came off the short little cart, the porch, the cart we're going to build for the kids. This is the crap that was in it from the owner we got it from. Certainly not, like you can see where the threads literally built beat thread marks inside of this. It's a piece of aluminum. That's not a bushing. These are proper bushings. We can get these at the hardware store right around the block and probably run a drill through them or something and ream them out to the right size. They're relatively snug in here, and it did snug this up. I mean, this thing here, you got to see this, how bad sloppy this was. This is the bushing that was in it, and that's literally what the pedal was doing when I got it. So I was just going to move them or adjust them, and I decided to take them off, and I'm glad I did. Again, let me bring you right out here in the light and the sun so you can see that crack. You see that? That's right, folks. Yes, sirree, Bob. That sucker is busted. Bum, 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 bum. So, we'll go ahead and we're going to beef this bad boy up. We'll weld that back through there as daintily as possible, and then what we're probably going to do is cut some metal and make a triangular type brace, something that comes from here out this way. You know, be round on the end, and we'll go ahead and weld it from this side here, so it'll strengthen it up. Now, I'm really not crazy about this altogether, so we may end up putting new pedals on this thing when we tear it all down and put it back together. Steering shaft, I bought a new one, but I don't think I'm going to use it, at least not right away. I actually had another one laying around here that we cut off the end of it here because it was a bit longer than this for the right length. That'll put the tie rods on top of that double pitman arm there. Gives us the extra length we need. Now we don't need the spline because this thing bolts on. British, English, right? You know, it was that, or we pull a Senna, a Williams, and literally tube the shaft and make it a little bit longer. Didn't want to do that. I mean, even though I'd feel safe doing that. I mean, they made that alteration to Senna's car in testing, and it lasted until San Marino. So you know, they really should have done something about that, but. Hindsight's 20/20, I guess. So there you go. I could literally just drop this one in, and I probably will. That's probably what I'm going to do. I wanted to get some round stock and make the angled hub to get the steering wheel angled down, but I think I can cut this nut in half and drop it down. I got plenty of room to drop it down, and it's all just for Grattan. And of course, when it comes time to redoing this cart, I think we're going to end up moving that nut bar over a little bit just to try to get the steering wheel more in the center. Because right now, you really, even though the steering wheel is too far away from me, you're really reaching for the left side. And obviously the right side is far more comfortable. If you get this side comfortable, this side's going to probably be too close. Just like the pedals are right now. When I laid in it last night, and set these stops on here and put the rubber bands on. Sorry about the footage there, folks. I'm trying to do this with one hand and this other steering shaft underneath my arm. Come on, Bubby, get in there. Anyway, when I got in the cart last night, this pedal, it literally needed to be like this. Or I'm sorry, like this. Because the gas pedal is just going to naturally be closer to you, and the brake pedal was going to be further away. So they're not going to be even like they are on any other cart because we're sitting in here sideways. So it literally, your right leg is going to get there before your left leg does, simply because of the way you're offset. So we got work to do, you know, and we've got some time. Didn't make it back over to Rich's yesterday. My back's been botched up, and what I'm afraid of is I get over there hunched over, cutting out that metal again for a couple of hours, and I continue to hurt myself. I could end up being down for a couple of days a week, and we can't afford to miss that time. So I think we'll just we'll take our time again. You know, maybe we get over there and cut out some aluminum. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just play around over here a little bit, but whatever we're going to do, we're not going to overdo it at all because we don't want to jeopardize our back before we get this test day going and get things worked out with these carts. So that's it. We'll bring you some more. Hopefully Rich gets the chain guard finished welded up today. It's Friday. I hope it's done so we can get this thing going and working on it this weekend. We get him over here bleeding brakes and messing around, you know. We got all this work to do and just one guy doing it. So that's it for now, folks. Just showing you how to warmed up that tube and just kind of bent it back into place. Looks pretty good from here. Talk to y'all.